Okay, good morning, everybody. Hello and welcome in. So glad you're with us here. Kicking off a brand new week here of Longshore and McKnight. Gurn Sr. pinch hitting again today for Barry. He's on the road once again, but he'll join us again tomorrow. I know he's very excited about Troy in the NCAA tournament. But Gurn, I know you're very excited. You were in Nashville checking out some SEC action this weekend. I've been wanting to hear how it went. So let's kick it off with a little SEC tournament recap.
I'll sum it up this way, John. Mrs. Gurn and I were driving back. We did not stay for the finals. Had to get back, do some work. But we're driving back, and she's been a couple of times, but not that many times. And she goes, the SEC tournament, basketball tournament, is just awesome. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, the basketball is great, but all the schools coming together and people come and stay. Now, everybody was there. I mean, you'd think it'd empty out, people leave, whatever, but people stay. Now, Kentucky people stay no matter what. Yeah. They come early. I think we talked about it on Friday, where they don't get the opportunity to see their team play. So they'll come and travel and come to a crap game just to see them play.
Sure.
But, you didn't see a lot of Texas. You didn't see a lot of Oklahoma. Obviously, they were out. But the people that could get there did. Florida traveled pretty well. I was fairly surprised. How
about a team like LSU that was out early? Many LSU fans?
Not many LSU fans. Yeah, but, their year sucked, so it didn't really –
I've got another team whose year probably sucked worse, but we're going to get to them in a minute.
We'll talk about the NIT in a bit. I have a feeling I know you're talking about. Bama laid an egg, and the truth is, nobody cares about the SEC tournament today because guess what? Everybody's looking at their bracket. Either you made it or you didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, kudos, Ole Miss fans. You had your NCAA tournament in Nashville. You don't even get to go to the NIT. I'm glad you had some good feelings. You still finished below 500. More power to you. But
I'll say this. I'm with you. It's interesting that you shared some comments from your bride because mine had a couple of interesting ones as well. This one stuck to me. Wow. Alabama got beat. Is that a big deal? Are they going to make the tournament? Man, I wasn't expecting that. And I went, no, just tap your brakes. No big deal. They're still in. She couldn't figure out how you can lose, but hey, it's no big deal. You're still in. I just couldn't. I didn't have the patience to try to explain it, but those
you got to be a better spouse. You got to look. We will. There's some YouTube videos you can watch to help you increase your relationship skills and communication skills and all that. Or I'll just talk to you about. I'll explain to you the best way.
Okay.
The best way to handle things like that. But it was. As a fan of basketball, it's adrenaline for me to watch all those games.
Sure.
The only thing I regret was not being able to go Thursday to see the Thursday games. And I had a previous had to do something that afternoon in Opelika, and so I couldn't go. But I'd like to go Thursday and Friday, leave Saturday, and just be totally wasted with full basketball watching. And in Bridgestone. All right, so here's the interesting thing. And if I know my sister's not listening, but my sister tries to do nice things for me. She has one of her best friends sits in the Laker seats at Alabama. Big donor. Big donor has tickets in the zone, has top baseball tickets. Has every ticket you can possibly want. She calls me from the Arkansas game, sitting on the front row, and says, "Hey, my friend's is not going to use her SEC championship tickets. Do you want to buy them?" I said, absolutely. Venmo the money right away. And I'm thinking, man, these are going to be primo. These are going to be down in the best. Every school gets a section. Nope. We were in the 300 section.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I will say I enjoyed our tickets. We're we were up and we were close. The tickets were actually pretty good for up. I'm not a big up fan, but they were pretty good. But we were sitting amongst other Alabama season ticket holders that pay a lot of money to watch Alabama play basketball. I mean, we had one of our pledge brothers whose family friend is a Alabama legend and donor and all that. That's where
and you sent me a picture. I saw a general area of where you were sitting.
and look, and that was leading to me my comment. Bridgestone is a fantastic place to watch a basketball game. I've been to concerts there. I've not been to a Predators game there, but that's why it's good, because it's hockey. It sits up. It's more upright. You know, you're trying to get closer to the ice, you know, the circle, and it does that. And I think the crowd noise is good because of that. And even for a big box, you know, I mean, not every big box is good.
Yeah.
You know, you can go. I think I've said this before. I will never go back to the Superdome. I will never go back to Mercedes or to go back to Atlanta for a basketball game unless somebody gives me a sideline ticket. Because if you're sitting up, you're like,
would you go back to the Pontiac Silverdome if it was still up and still a thing?
So anybody that's anybody that's a basketball fan who's of our age, which means in their 60s.
Yeah.
John was working in Michigan. I was in law school. Vanderbilt had made the Sweet 16. They were playing in the Pontiac Silverdome, which I don't think have they imploded that thing?
Yes, it is done.
All right. So, but it was a modern wonder in the day. It was a big, you know, that's where the Lions played and the Pistons played and all that. I believe Pistons played there. Anyway, so we go and you're talking about nosebleed.
Woo,
and so then it's not only that, but it's the absolute worst Vandy game in history. Danny Manning from Kansas goes like 22 of 24 for like 46 points. And they ended up
winning the national title.
They ended up winning the Natty, but that was a long trip.
Yeah. Will Purdue had a tough night, if I recall.
Yes, he did not. He craned his neck as Danny Manning went by him. About 30 times. But yeah.
So let me ask you this. I said it Friday on the show. And the record proved me out. I thought, Ole Miss is not any good. I watched them play Georgia. Neither one of those teams looked overly impressive. No matter who ended up winning Thursday night, I'm thinking Bama's going to run this team off the floor. Didn't happen. What did you see or what did you not see in Alabama? I know, can't play defense, and if you're not hitting the three, you're going to get beat. Was it as simple as that?
Well, I hate to agree with my wife, but my wife, her analysis was the layoff versus playing games, and I don't like that. And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, you know, if you have an older team that can get motivated, then, you know, maybe the layoff is not a big deal.
Yeah.
We got most teams now are young. And so there was that lag. Now, what was interesting is we started off and you could tell the defense was just not, I mean, it was either they were making a lot or the defense wasn't. I mean, it was just crazy. And so, and then it got tight and the defensive intensity picked up. And so that's a problem when you can see a noticeable difference in the defense.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And effort and intensity. And then, but, you know, dang it, we had 2 chances to win. Even when we didn't have a chance to win, we had a chance to win. I mean, it was, and Phylon usually, it's all right. So here's the big controversy. You know, Nate Oates doesn't call a timeout to set up a play. I wouldn't call a timeout to set up a play. You've got LeBaron Phylon with the ball with 10 seconds left, whatever it was. Let him go. And he did. His problem was he didn't shoot the ball.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. I see a lot of coaches.
Take the last shot. take the last shot.
A lot of coaches call timeout in those situations, and I'm thinking, don't let the defense set up. Come right at them and let the defense be a little uncertain about what's going to happen. And I don't have a problem with that at all.
Chris Beard's a hell of a defensive coach. So he would Ole Miss's coach. So I don't have a problem with how that all went down. But it was, I'll tell you what, it was, how many times did Alabama go in for a layup and got their crap thrown out?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, it just, I see. All right. So now I'm looking at the chat line. The chat line is, I wonder if my wife has come in under an alias as Greg Thompson 6407.
Yeah, that's Casino Greg.
Because my wife, she played in high school, and she doesn't watch all the time, but she knows basketball, and she knows the ebbs and flows. And we play pickleball, and there are ebbs and flows. You call timeout when other team goes on a heater. And she can't. And damn it, coming back on Saturday, she wanted me to explain what the philosophy was for not calling the timeout, and I couldn't. I couldn't defend it. I was like, now I could defend it with the last shot. I just couldn't defend it on the, maybe you want to keep your timeouts till the end when they matter, and you got a team that can score a bunch of points and all that kind of good stuff. But hell, we had 3 timeouts late in the game.
I hear you. You can't take them with you.
It's maddening, but there's, like I told my partner who was sitting in front of me, my law partner, I said, all right, let's fire the coach. Let's fire the coach. I mean, come on. This is the gravy days of Alabama basketball.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah. When
you're getting mad that, even though this year was not a great year, it was a good year compared to the past.
Sure.
So,
yeah. Now, how far they can go?
Any team in Mississippi would love to have our year.
Well, you're right about that. Yeah, you're right about that.
Any team in Mississippi would love to have Auburn's year this year. So,
well, more on that in a moment. Yeah, how far Alabama can go. They should be able to beat Hofstra. Texas Tech's going to be a tough out. I know there's some injury issues there with the Red Raiders, but then you got a team like Michigan staring at you. I don't know about that much at all. Big guys that can play. Alabama's had some problems with that. But if you've looked over the NCAA tournament brackets, and we certainly hope that you have, and you mentioned Casino Greg. Greg is the defending March Madness champion. And he lets everybody know it. He's running a little smack today, but hey, that's part of the privilege. That's part of the honor of being the tournament winner. So you need to get it into us by Thursday at 11 a.m. That is this Thursday. All we need, we're making it simple for you, is
John, hold on. How versatile is he? We've changed the format.
Yeah, so Greg, we're going to see how good you are.
Can he play match play as well as stroke play?
That's exactly right. It's a modified Stableford system here we're going with. So you got to give us the final 4 teams. Give us all 4, your final 4, and the total number of points in the championship game. We'll use that as a tiebreaker. Email those to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. Get them in by Thursday at 11 a.m. In the subject line, put 4 for 4 up there. NCAA tournament contest, however you want to phrase it, it's up to you. But get them in by Thursday at 11. Your final 4 picks, total number of points in the championship game. You could be the big winner of a 4-carat lab-grown diamond from Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry here in Montgomery and Pepper Tree on Vaughan Road, valued well over $4,000. Get it? 4 for 4 in the final 4-carat diamond, well over $4,000. Lyle tells me it's closer to 5, but we wanted to keep the theme of 4 going. He thought that would be a good idea. I think we've explained it pretty thoroughly. Of course, this is brought to you by our good friends at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, Bama Budweiser, Phoenix Physical Therapy, and the Montgomery Regional Airport. So get those in by Thursday at 11. You can be the big winner and make somebody happy in your life. I can promise you that. So a lot more SEC. Actually, I got a couple of other questions about that we'll get to when we get back from our first break. We'll also talk about the NCAA tournament, the early matchups that we'll have there. You better make sure you've got True TV and Bounce and whatever else they carry it on when CBS isn't carrying Duke or Michigan or Ohio State. So we'll check in with that as well. Also, some spring football talk we'll get to. At the top of hour number 2, Gurn, we're going to welcome in a guest of ours. He's part of a podcast. You see him here with us on our chat line, our River Region Straw chat line. Way Offsides Jeff is going to hop on at the top of hour number 2 to give us his thoughts about Bama spring football and the Tide in the NCAA tournament. We'll talk about that. And as you mentioned, Gurn, 9 o'clock tomorrow night, Neville Arena, Auburn hosting South Alabama.
Is it 9 or 9 Eastern?
I just saw 9 o'clock.
I can't imagine it's 9 o'clock.
Well, they played a regular season game a couple of weeks ago at 9 o'clock.
I'm just saying, I mean, the good news is you can go to Amsterdam Cafe and get you some good dinner and a full dinner and get there well before tip-off.
Yeah, you certainly could. So
is it spring break in Auburn this week?
It is spring break at Auburn.
Ooh.
So, yeah, Barry. Gurn, I'm looking at it right here. 9 o'clock. Davidson and Oklahoma State are at 7. Auburn hosting South at 9 o'clock. South Alabama. Is that what Auburn fans really wanted? An NIT game at 9 o'clock? The students are out for spring break, and you're playing an in-state school?
It's going to be band night. It's band night at Neville. They're bringing in the local bands.
Well, I'm told, Barry, spring break was last week at Auburn. So Alabama's is this week. So I thought
that's fine. They're
back.
They
did them at the same time, but the students will be back. But will they? Well, will they be back?
Sure.
Oh, no. South Alabama at 9 o'clock. We'll see. We'll talk more about that when we return. Stick around. More of Longshore and McKnight on this Tournament Monday returns right after this quick timeout.
Get Truck Month deals on more than trucks at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Explorers for $13,000 off. Broncos $12,000 off. Expeditions $10,000 off. And Bronco Sports $9,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Ford Truck Month is bigger and better at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Take advantage of 0% APR on Super Duties, Lightnings, and F-150s. F-150s $18,000 off. Super Duties $2,000 under invoice. And Lightnings $16,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Tough to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What'd I miss?
I have no idea.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you are with us here. Longshore and McKnight. Gurn, senior pinch hitting for Barry, traveling today. Barry will be back with us tomorrow. I don't know Barry's travel schedule for the rest of the week. Troy plays early on Thursday. Did you say?
Yeah,
Barry?
I've already penciled it in. I'm gonna offer Barry so that he can. I have his game prep. They start at like 11:30.
I think so.
Because it's they're in Tampa, right? No, where are they?
I don't think they are.
No. They're in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
They're in Oklahoma City. There was talk of them going to Tampa, but they're in Oklahoma City against Nebraska, which I can't remember if I mentioned to you or not. I was on Nebraska early this year.
Well,
because of a friend whose son is the coach at New Mexico, and they played them early and said they were really good. And they went 20-0, and then they went 6-6 the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So they're 26-6. They're trending the wrong way.
Well, I wish I'd have known that Friday, but we'll talk more about that in an hour during the Phantom's Daily Dog.
I mean, I like Troy. I like the way they play.
They're exciting.
I hate to bring up I know you're not a Harry Potter fan, but they've got the Weasley twins, two redheaded brothers that fill it up. And another guy, and then another kid named Thomas Dowd, who's from Dothan, which I'm always partial to. Anybody playing D1 basketball from the Wiregrass,
Circle City, yeah,
from the Wiregrass, I'm always partial to.
I'm sure, if they're playing that early, but we'll certainly get that taken care of as we get closer to the end of the week. Straw Boy sent me a picture of Casino Greg's house that he just laid some premium long needle pine straw. Man, the place looks great, man. Casino Greg's rolling.
Cross-selling from watchers, listeners, viewers, and sponsors.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the Longshore McKnight economy here. It's fantastic.
Sure, you better believe it. So glad to see our viewers and listeners are certainly taking advantage of our great sponsors here, as Casino Greg has done. And of course, River Region Straw has a additional location along with their Montgomery and Prattville and Auburn location in Chelsea on Highway 280, doing really well up there. Just growing and awesome, doing some great stuff up there along with their locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. Now you can check them out near Birmingham and Chelsea on 280. Doing really well up there. I'm telling all of our friends and all of our viewers and listeners in that part of the world, check them out there if you need some pine straw for all of your landscaping needs. All right, Vanderbilt was a team that I thought, okay, they are Vanderbilt and Missouri were the two teams I said last week that could sneak in, maybe surprise some people, win it all. Of course, Vandy didn't do it, but they did play in the finals. I'm a little surprised you left and didn't watch the Commodores in the finals, but I know Sunday is kind of tough and you got to get back home.
Yeah.
But I think Vanderbilt's playing some good basketball.
So this was so I'm just going to lay it all out there honest. I had no indication that Vandy would beat Florida. I mean, Florida has just dominated everybody.
And beat them bad. I mean,
in my mind, I had said, okay, I need to get back. I've got work. I've got a big week, going out of town next week, all those kind of things. So in my mind, I said, I'm just, if Vandy makes finals, I'm just not staying. Much to my chagrin of my wife and daughter, who are riding with me because they had to leave as well. Gurn Jr. was the benefactor of that. He and the buddy got to stay and go. There obviously lives there. And we still had tickets, got it to the friends and stuff. And I thought it'd be a soft ticket. And it was not it wasn't a sellout, but it was well attended. And look, I watched it on my phone, which I kind of like to do. It's weird.
Wait a minute, you weren't driving and watching the game, were you?
No, we huddled back and got back Saturday night late.
Okay.
We'll travel when we can.
Nice. Oh yeah.
And so it was, they played well. Arkansas is the real deal. I mean, they did not start well. Here's the funny thing about it is that all the pundits, all the NCAA guys on ESPN and everywhere else, they're talking about Peterson at Kansas. They're talking about, Boozer at Duke. And they've got 2 or 3 other guys they're talking about. Nobody's talking Acuff being the number 1 pick. That dude is a dude.
Yeah, he's a player.
He's not 6'7", but my God, if anybody doesn't look like Allen Iverson like he does, he just flat puts it in the hole. I mean, remember the Alabama game? He had 49.
Oh, yeah, lit it up.
He had 30 yesterday with 11 assists. I mean, that dude was and then DJ Wagner goes off yesterday, and he hadn't done anything all year. And then Brazil goes crazy. I mean, look, they shot lights out. My favorite was at halftime. They're interviewing Cal going out of the game, going to halftime. Coach, what do you have to do the second half or whatever? He goes, guys, this is a great game. This is just a great game. Appreciate it. I love it when coaches, can really, they're not like somebody's, we're hitting shots, they're hitting shots.
Oh, yeah.
This is just good basketball. And it was. And until the end, and, we had a couple of guys not hit. We had a couple of guys hit. So, anyway, it was
well, I was proud of Vanderbilt. They played well all season. Felt they could make a run. Didn't win it all, but got to the championship game. So good for them. Surprised me how bad they beat Florida. There again, I look back, as you said earlier, I hate to be as minimal and say, well, I just don't care. It's not that big of a deal. So what? And I get it. They're bigger fish to fry. Florida's got bigger plans. I guess Alabama does too. I was surprised Alabama got beat. As I said earlier, Ole Miss to me looked terrible the night before they played Alabama. It looked like a totally different team against the Crimson Tide than they did against Georgia and holding on to beat Georgia. I mean, Georgia rallied back, got it close there at the end. I didn't think either one of those teams looked overly good. But, heck, if you're missing shots and you can't play defense, I guess anybody can make you look bad, and that certainly happened with Alabama. But now they're again in the NCAA tournament. It's, you lose, you're gone. There's no chance of, advancing and making the national title of the Final Four, anything like that. I remember when Kentucky got beat in the SEC tournament years ago, and Rick Pitino said it's the best thing ever happened to them. They ended up winning the national title. We'll see if it happens to Florida as well.
Well, I have a lot of time driving in the car, and I start thinking about things. I think a lot about basketball, and I just analyze teams, why teams are doing well and why teams are not. All these guys are good coaches. I mean, the coaches, they didn't become a bad coach once they got to the SEC. It's all about roster construction, using the money you have, and they have to perform. So, you look at Kentucky. Kentucky is a bad team. I watched them play. They are bad. Now, they may play well in the NCAAs, but they are just not very good, and they have a $22 million roster. And you go, what the hell is going on? And then, Ole Miss has a bunch of medium guys that they didn't spend a lot on. Mississippi State has nobody. They got one guy and they spent a lot on him. So, you look at Auburn. Auburn's got a couple of guys they spent on, but the rest, the complementary players, haven't done much, and those players hadn't done much. So it's just all, who you get and how you do it. I give Vanderbilt credit. Their coach Byington has put together a roster that those guys are good. I mean, they're not great, but they're really good, and they play well. They hit their shots. They rebound well. They play well. And then I'm just going to give my shout out to my Mountain Brook guy, Bucky McMillan, who I've been watching since he was in high school, watching him play in high school. He goes out there, has no team, and cobbles together a team that is in the tournament. That is amazing to be where they are. And they're point guards from UNA.
Yeah.
Who's like 5'9". So, I mean, it's just one of those, it's just how you put it together. You can't build programs. You just have to put them together each year. And we don't know who's going to be where. And then the way Oates is doing it, he's recruiting the hell out of top high school kids. Okay. Look at who we've got that've come in. They don't always stay, but he's getting top players. Jaden Bradley, who was point guard at Alabama a couple of years ago, is the Big 12 Player of the Year this year at Arizona.
Oh,
Chris Stewart was calling a game Thursday night where 2 or 3 former Alabama players are on the court. So, it's just a new wave, and it is what it is. And you just got to keep spending money and hope it all works out.
You talk about Kentucky and the amount of money that they spent. I would say they didn't get their money's worth. But how does a team like Alabama compete with that? As you just said, are they just going to have to go the high school route?
Well, they compete because they have a system. Okay. They have a system where they only have layups and threes, and kids want to shoot. You got, big kids want to shoot, and he gets people who can shoot generally. And, but you see, we also lack any inside depth because people don't want to go there if all you're going to do is sit there and rebound and not be able to, have an offense flow through you.
Yeah.
So, that's why we've struggled with the big guy. So, I mean, look, it works. You know what I'm saying? His system works. And I think it would work in the NBA too. If somebody's saying, well, will he go to another college? Maybe somebody offered more money. But I think the NBA would be, where he would go because that's the system. And, at some point, your shelf life as a coach in the SEC, I mean, usually you don't stay there 20 years. So, go to the next place before getting fired. So,
so if I saw the number correctly, I saw it flash on the screen. The SEC has 10 teams that got into the tournament. Texas, one of them playing tomorrow night in a play-in game against
first four. No. You can't use that phrase. It's the first four.
Excuse me. Not a play-in game, the first four. Oh, because as I've been told before, these teams are in the NCAA tournament.
Well, I will say they are the ones who are the ones who are the 11 seeds or whatever they are. They are. They're the last four in.
Yeah.
They just have to play one more game.
Seems kind of gimmicky to me, but
it's gimmicky. But guess what? You don't have a half-filled arena with an NIT game with Long Beach State. I mean,
oh man, that's a cheap shot. Wow. More on that in a moment. How about this? Let's see. Got Kentucky taking on Santa Clara.
Yeah, that's upset special right there.
That's a morning 11:15 on CBS. Kentucky on CBS. Go figure. You've got Tennessee taking on one of these teams that's playing in the first four, I imagine. It's to be determined. So I'm not sure who they're going to be playing. The winner of what game that Tennessee will be facing. Alabama and Hofstra is a Friday afternoon at 2:15 on True TV.
So I like when they go to describe a team, and I try and know about teams, and I'll know more about them before we get there. But when they describe Hofstra by their coach, I like when they describe it by a coach versus like some guy that averages 30 points a game.
Oh, okay. They
do have a 20-point scorer, but Speedy Claxton, who was their guard back in the day, who I remember playing the league, I like it when they talk about their coach because you don't want it to be like three guys who are averaging 100 points just themselves that can go off on you.
Then you got Georgia taking on St. Louis, an 8 versus a 9.
All right, John.
By the way, Alabama's a 14.5 point favorite against Hofstra.
That's good. All right, John. Trivia question.
Yep.
What's the mascot for St. Louis?
The Knights?
Nope.
Huh.
The Billikens.
Billikens, yeah.
Which I believe
is a knight.
Is it?
Their logo looks like a knight, but
okay. Okay.
That's the only reason I said the Knights, because the logo kind of looks like
you got a logo sheet.
Yeah.
You got a cheat sheet there.
Yeah, I got a cheat sheet. I did not know that. I'm just making sure I've covered every SEC team on this side of the bracket. Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia. Yep, going to the other side. You got Florida going against TBD, to be determined. That's a night game on TNT, whoever they may be facing.
They get one of the first fours of those 16 seeds.
Vanderbilt and McNeese.
All right.
Vandy an 11.5-point favorite, but McNeese is one of those teams that could sneak up on you at 2:15 on True TV.
All right, I gotta somebody help me here. I think we played McNeese, and they're pretty good. And don't we have a former coach that's the McNeese coach? Gosh, or maybe Brian Hodgson went there first.
Hodgson went to Arkansas State, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to figure out who. I swear I have a memory who the coach is. But maybe I'm just making that. That's where Will Wade went when he got banned from all of SEC for his big ass offer down at LSU. So, all right, I'm gonna figure out who McNeese's coach is. But I have like a memory that they could be tough. So that's got.
You got to watch out for McNeese. I'm telling you, McNeese can. McNeese can sneak up on you. They can bite you. You got to be careful about McNeese. They're pretty tough. Troy, as you mentioned, they are taking on Nebraska. The Cornhuskers are 13.5-point favorite. That is a Thursday 11:40 a.m. game on True TV. Then you've got A&M Buckyball taking on St. Mary's.
Boy, all right.
St. Mary's is actually the favorite in this game.
All right, so John, St. Mary's, they have a philosophy. So it's a 30-second clock.
Yep.
They want to use 29 seconds out of every 30-second clock. They intentionally slow the game down. So here's the prediction. I don't know if you can see an over-under on that one. But
I just have the side. No, I don't have a total yet.
If the game is in the 50s or the 60s, then St. Mary's wins.
Yeah.
If the game's in the 70s, the winner has 70, then A&M wins. Because A&M plays buckyball, which is press the whole game. Whereas St. Mary's is just – and we've played Alabama played St. Mary's in the last couple of years in the tournament.
That does ring a bell. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a crazy style difference. And they play against Gonzaga in their league, and they're a good team, well coached.
Yep.
Very well coached.
All right, let's look at other SEC teams that are in action in the NCAA tournament. We've got Arkansas taking on the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii
in
325.
I heard Cal interviewed yesterday, and he was like, he was talking about their travel because that's on Thursday, right?
Yep.
So they've got to travel out there and play and get everything done. It's a crazy
and Hawaii doesn't have to travel either. I mean, come on, Cal.
But they're coming east. Much different when you go east.
Oh, yeah.
East to west.
They got the jet stream coming with them, so they'll get there quicker.
6 hours supposedly from Fayetteville.
Yeah. Okay.
Miami
is taking on Missouri, the Hurricanes. Phantom had them last week in a daily dog, which was a big winner in the ACC tournament, taking on Missouri. So there are your 10 SEC teams that are going to be playing in the NCAA tournament. And yes, if you were paying attention closely, you noticed that there was one in particular, one team that I did not mention that just happened to make the Final Four last year, but did not make the NCAA tournament. We'll tell you who they are when we return after this quick commercial timeout. Longshore McKnight on a Monday. Gurn Sr. pitch hitting for Barry today, who's traveling. We'll be back with more right after this quick timeout. Travel Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. 4 for 4 in the Final Four. Pick the 4 teams to make the Final Four in this year's men's NCAA basketball tournament to win a 4-carat lab-grown diamond valued at well over $4,000 from Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. The winner will be announced on Tuesday, April the 7th. And as a tiebreaker, submit the total points scored in the championship game to be played on Monday, April the 6th. We'll be taking entries from 6 p.m. Sunday, March the 15th through 11 a.m. Thursday, March the 19th. Entries can be submitted to Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. That's Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. 4 for 4 in the Final Four is sponsored by Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, Bama Budweiser, Phoenix Physical Therapy, and the Montgomery Regional Airport. In the event of a tie, there will be a live drawdown Tuesday, April 7th to determine the overall winner. Get your picks in beginning March 15th at Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com, and good luck.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us. About 19 minutes to the top of the hour. Hey, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Tell all your friends. Heck, tell all your enemies. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Really want you to be a part of what we do here. Viewing us, listening to us, or both. Check us out at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com, the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. So many people are checking us out there. We greatly appreciate it. Also, our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, X, Spotify, Apple Tunes, however you view, however you listen, we really appreciate it. We know so many people check us out on their schedule, which this format is all about. You check us out when it's convenient for you. We're live 7 to 9 every weekday morning, but we know the majority of our viewers and listeners check us out during the remainder of the day or night, and we really appreciate that. So hit that like and subscribe button. I asked this question last week, and I tell you, Gurn, I'm surprised. And I got to admit, I got to come clean. I was kind of asking it and setting it up in kind of a little smart alecky, needling kind of fashion when I said, how many teams have made the Final Four one year, and then the next year they don't even make the NCAA tournament? Okay, yeah, I was directing that toward Auburn, but I was really kind of curious about it as well, until I found out it has happened every year for the last 10 years. Hard to believe.
Well, a lot of times it's senior-laden teams who, people leave or go, or they, the mid-level guys go and get paid now, get paid more. It is what it is. And look, you put together a team, and Auburn put together the team they could. They chose who to pay and who not to pay. Yep. I mean, that's today's world. Their roster, was a good roster. It wasn't a great roster. I mean, they've had much better rosters in the past. Keyshawn Murphy maybe makes the league. I think Pettiford is a G League special. Yeah. I mean, he just unless he I could see Pettiford going to a blue blood for $500,000 and rehabilitating himself. I mean,
it's interesting you mentioned didn't want to pay him. One of our viewers says, Auburn has 3 ex-players that made the tournament with new teams because they did not want to pay them. Way to go, Cohen. Speaking of athletic director,
well,
John
I mean,
Cohen.
you have a limited number of resources,
Yeah.
and you gamble on who that is. But and they had a good roster, and they played well early. I mean, they did. They played well, but they were exposed
in Gainesville.
Yeah, they were exposed, and Keyshawn Hall is toxic. So that just turned everything.
It's interesting in those 10 teams that did not make the NCAA tournament the year after they made the Final Four, only 6 of them made the NIT. 4 of them didn't even make the NIT tournament. So the bottom fell out completely for 4 of those 10 teams. But that did surprise me. I just did not realize that many. I mean, every year. And in some years, it's multiple teams that did not make the NCAA tournament the previous year. So that happens more than I had imagined. But Auburn in the NIT, I mean, Bruce was lobbying and campaigning to get Auburn into the NCAA tournament, doing everything he could to get them in, fell short. So a program that's been to 2 Final Fours, a lot of excitement within that basketball program. What are you expecting tomorrow night at Neville Arena?
That'll be a good question. It shows, I tell you, this could be Stephen Pearl's toughest game to coach. And you're seeing who wants to stay and who, if you've got somebody that's on their way out, either because of eligibility or because they're moving on to the portal, maybe they'll get motivated to play or not. I mean, maybe not. So, John, have I ever told you my NIT story?
I don't believe so.
All right. So I'm in law school. I think it's 1990. Yeah, it would be 1990, about this time of year. My dad calls me, and Vanderbilt's made the NIT and have made a run, and they're actually in the finals in New York. And my dad, long time, even though he's a UT grad, cheerleader at UT, has become an obnoxious Vandy basketball fan, calls me up and says, "Hey, I need you to go over and pick up our tickets for the NIT over at the box office." And I said, "Sure, happy to." Went over and picked him up, called him back and said, "All right, I got him. When are we going to go? I need to make my flight." He goes, "Oh, no, those aren't for you. That's for me and my buddy. And we're leaving. And oh, by the way, can I stay at your apartment Wednesday night?" Great.
Wow. Man,
so,
thanks, Pops. Man.
And then they go on and win the NIT.
Yeah.
Win the NIT that year. Back when the NIT meant a little bit more. And it used to mean more because it allowed teams to that underachieved to kind of build and get some tournament run and get some tournament experience. And you've seen, we had a friend that played at Lipscomb, my daughter's roommate's boyfriend. And so that was fun. We got to watch him go to the finals from Lipscomb. And so, I mean, look, as a basketball junkie, I'll watch the NIT. I just will.
I know. I'm sure you will. As a matter of fact, Gurn, I might watch the NIT tomorrow. Matter of fact, I might be listening to it in my driveway, depending on how.
Well, that's kind of late to be in your driveway. They may be talking about you if it's 10:30 and you're a car in your driveway.
So I'm hearing the tickets are like the cheapest out there, $25 a pop. It's 9:00 at night on a Tuesday against an in-state team. Now, we talked about this last week. Alabama played South Alabama in an NCAA tournament game over in Atlanta at the old Omni years ago and got beat. Wimp Sanderson was the coach. So there's been a little history of South knocking off the bigger schools in this state. And having Bart Heish on every week, he certainly, is involved with the South Alabama program from a broadcast standpoint. He knows a lot about the Jags. What are your thoughts about South going up against Auburn tomorrow night?
Well, all I can say is, family friend of my wife and sister-in-law, and I guess myself as well, is the South Alabama president, Joe Bonner, who former congressman, used to work at the University of Alabama, now president USA. Does he does he have some? Do they have some sort of bet on the game with the other president? Like a ham, or or a slab of bacon, or or some gumbo, from Mobile versus I don't know.
Byron Smokehouse Barbecue over there.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
A Boston butt from Byron's. Look, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. In-state rivalry game. No, I mean, it's not a rivalry game, but an in-state game where one team, it's.
So if I'm Auburn and I'm going to wait a minute, we really don't want to be even playing this game in the first place. We were thinking NCAA tournament. We got relegated to this, and this is what you do to us. A 9:00 game against South Alabama. I can't imagine that's really what Auburn wanted at all. Do they not have any say-so or pull? They're like, whoa, now if we're playing in this thing, we're playing at 7:00 and we're playing against California Baptist Irvine. I mean, we're not playing South Alabama. I mean, to me, Auburn's getting screwed here.
Well, the NIT schedules regionally, and matter of fact, I'm very excited. My pickleball friend's son's the coach at New Mexico, and they got beat on Saturday. So they Friday or Saturday in the semis. So they did not. They were a bubble team. They're a number 1 seed out in the Albuquerque region in the NIT, which that'll be good. They'll fill up the pit out there in Albuquerque for this. They get excited about it. What I don't know, and maybe we can have somebody look this up. Do players get paid if they make it to New York or before? I mean, if I'm the NIT, wouldn't not, you have these tournaments, mid-year tournaments, where the players get paid, that you go play them and do that preseason and or early year tournaments.
Yep.
I kind of have a thought. Maybe if I don't, it'd probably be a good idea, because that would give people motivation to play.
Sure. I mean, didn't Auburn and Alabama go to that tournament in Vegas? And they
and the players make money off that.
Yeah, sure.
Why wouldn't they do that for a postseason tournament like this?
I think you'd have to. That's a good point. I got to think. Look, what's to stop these players from thinking, I ain't playing in this thing? I don't care. I don't know. I would think so. Definitely going to look into that.
All right, John, I forgot to pop this in when we started talking about the SEC tournament. I know you are a huge fan of brushes with greatness.
Oh, definitely.
So Gurn Jr. had a brush with greatness on Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
Actually,
was it inside or outside of the arena?
It was Friday night.
Inside or outside of the arena?
Outside the arena, but he's savvy enough. He knows where the VIP entrance is, and a lot of times he tries to get in to the VIP entrance.
Well,
and it's on the side.
Why
it's
not?
On the west end, not on the west end side. It's on the north side. I guess it'd be the west side of the arena.
Okay. Yeah.
And he walks out. And he's mindful that maybe there's a celebrity there or something. And he sees a country music singer who he doesn't know, has to be a country music singer. Everybody's crowded around.
Okay. All right.
Then he sees a small man next to him.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
And the guy's got a hat down, kind of, not trying to be incognito. Kind of nobody looking around and all that
country
stuff.
Music star, small man next. Was it Nick Saban?
Not Nick Saban.
Oh.
And so he looks over at him, and I applaud Gurn Jr. for not like getting the selfie or anything like that. He just, he goes, "Hey, Kev." He looks up, goes, "Big fan." And he kind of nodded at him, and they walked off. So he didn't like get in his space.
Okay.
Any idea who that might be?
Kev.
Kevin Hart.
Oh, no way. The comedian.
Kevin Hart. And now,
nice.
And as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story is Kevin Hart's son just signed with Tennessee to run track. He's from California.
All right.
he's damn good.
Well, that's very interesting. I had a similar rush, and there again, you don't want to, invade their space. You don't want to bug them. But my man Tyrus on Fox News, I saw him in New Orleans. I just went by him and said, "Hey, Tyrus, huge fan, my man." And he said, "Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you." He was actually very nice.
All right,
so
I'm gonna tell you one other.
Want to invade their space. You don't want to take too much of their time. Just give them a little thumbs up. Say, "Big fan."
All right,
good job.
This is so bad that Gurn Jr. is going to be mad at me because I can't remember the guy's name. But it's one of his number one people to see. Okay, he's a Barstool guy, and he does 3 different shows, and we're in Vegas.
Okay,
and we're getting out of our Uber. We're walking into the hotel, and he's over there on the side, and it's just a dumpy guy with a beard. I mean, I don't know. And I think it's like one of his college buddies.
Yeah.
Because he's like, "Hey, oh my God, Dad, come get, all right, you mind? Get picture, got the picture." And so so he got to fulfill one of his, this is a guy who he listens to daily on Barstool, one of the Barstool Yak or one of those shows in the morning. I think he's on Barstool in the morning too, the morning show. But anyway. Yeah, so you never know who you're going to
run into.
You're never going to know.
All right, before we go to the top of the hour here and regroup, our man way offsides, Jeff, is going to join us in hour number 2 when we get back. I want to leave you with this to wrap up the first hour. Power 4 teams to not make a bowl game, the men's NCAA tournament, or the women's NCAA tournament. Can you name some of those schools, Gurn?
So Power 4 football, basketball, and women's basketball
did not make a bowl game. Nor did they make the men's or women's NCAA tournament.
Can I ask you a question first?
Yes.
Why do you have to be a hater?
No, I'm just I'm informing the public.
It's like I mean, I don't even have to know. I don't even have to have any knowledge of the answer to that question.
Well,
I know the answer just because
they're multiple. Gurn, they're multiple.
Be, but I know alphabetically, I know who's at the top of the list.
Well, I'm going to start from the bottom then. And this one surprised me because they usually win the all sports trophy. Stanford.
They're in the they have failed in the NIL world, and so
obviously
Drew Luck. Andrew Luck has now been hired as their whatever to get them back on track. So
Rutgers is on this list.
Scarlet Knights,
Mississippi State doesn't surprise me.
Florida
State kind of surprised me.
Oklahoma State.
Florida State.
Florida State, yep.
Boston College.
Yeah, they've hit the skids too. They've not done well with NIL.
And the Auburn Tigers.
But I understand they're all well-known programs.
Yep, but I understand the Auburn baseball team is really good. The golf team's really good. Got like the number 1 player in the country on the golf team. So, hey, spring sports are looking up.
All right, I talked to my man, Tex. Tex is a former catcher for the Auburn Tigers, mid-60s. Maybe many of y'all know Tex. He's one of my pickleball buddies. He lives in Baton Rouge, but he has a house at the lake, and he goes to every Auburn homestand, sits behind the home plate. And I ask him. He and I talk Auburn baseball. Saw him last Thursday. He says they are the real deal. And I said, "Why are they the real deal?" And he said, "Well, their pitching numbers." He gave me some stats. Their pitching numbers are unbelievable. And they got 2 brothers, big old boys from Salem. And John, I know you don't know where Salem, Alabama is.
No clue.
All right. Go to Opelika.
Okay.
Get on 280 and then take a left and then go into the middle of nowhere.
What county?
That's Lee County. It's almost on the line. It's almost on the Georgia line. There's a river, the river lake runs through there.
Yeah.
It is the middle of nowhere, and they've got 2 brothers. One of them played at Smith Station, the other played at Glenwood. and they are the real deal.
Well, I hear a lot about them. Jason Caldwell, he covers them closely for Auburn Undercover, and they're going to be fun to watch. All right, we're getting close to the top of the hour. Let's take a quick timeout. When we return, Way Offsides Jeff is going to join us. We're going to get his thoughts about a lot of topics. Stick around. More of Longshore McKnight rolls on right after this quick timeout. You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, a little after 8 a.m. here on the live version, hour number 2 underway, and we bring in our friend. He goes by Way Offsides Jeff. You see him on the River Region Straw chat line.
Morning.
Jeff, before we get going, let our viewers, let our listeners know. I know you're part of a very popular podcast, and they need to know about it. Tell us about it.
Thanks, John. Hey, morning, Gurn Senior. Good to see y'all this morning. So we're Way Offsides. 4 A's, not 3. 3 is not enough. 5 is too many. 4 A's. There's 4 A's in Alabama, so 4 A's and Way Offsides. We're not fighters. We don't have inside connections or anything like that. We're just unhinged gumps. We just see what we see and we say, like Skip Bayless says, I see and I say. So we're not right. We're just opinionated. Some of our opinions aren't always popular or correct, but like I said, we just observe and then we speak about what we see. So we have a good time doing it, though. We do it live on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Central. We've got a pretty good guest on our show. Usually we've reached out to some recruits. We were on with Xavier Griffin's mom was on the other day. She's fantastic. Wow. She's become like the official Bama mom. The way she recruits these guys and the way that she sticks up for them and stands behind them. So we've had her on a couple of times. We've had some recruits on a few times. So we just reach out, try to spread the good word of Alabama.
And during the season, if I'm not mistaken, don't you have some post-game reactions that can
Correct.
be very entertaining?
Yes, we normally jump on live, usually within minutes after the game ends. It's the best time to get people's flesh reactions to what they just saw. The Indiana Rose Bowl post-game show was lit. And all I could do was laugh, because all you can do is laugh after a game like that. We couldn't get on here pounding fists. Can you believe, it was just such a thrashing that you just get on there and laugh, throw a couple brown liquor drinks back and talk about what you saw. So
if you had to give a percentage of 100%, how many of your responders are inebriated?
Usually the post-game shows, I would lean in the 80 to 90 percentile. During the week shows.
That means you've got some Church of Christ responders.
We're broad. We like to reach out in all areas. We don't typecast.
I love it. Yeah, those can be entertaining. Because I've talked a lot about a post-game show I've listened to on the radio before.
So we're not that good. So nothing's gold like that.
All right, so Jeff, I got to tell you a small town story. I live in Greenville, as you know. We have a local restaurant that we go to, the Grill, and we have one of our John and I's fraternity brothers' wife is head of the National Alumni Association for Alabama. Okay, Mary Ann Russell, and she's sitting there. We're just having a nice dinner, and this older lady who is hammered is walking out of the restaurant, and she looks at Mary Ann and says, "What the hell are we going to do about our offensive line coach? We got to get rid of him." So I think that just sums it up. I think you probably heard something similar to that.
Many times.
Yeah.
And shout out to Debo. He heard and he reacted accordingly.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of positives about that. Jumping into football, Jeff, and I'm sure you've probably touched on this. Our man Bob from Pike Road hit us up, and a lot of people are talking about this. Ryan Grubb declared Jackson Lloyd the starter on day 3 of spring training. Eliminates competition. Goes on to say he thinks Grubb is a clown. Bama's future is tied to a coach who is clueless, buffoon, clown show. Pretty harsh there, but I'll say this. I am a little surprised that 3 days into spring training, an offensive tackle has been named.
That was surprising. I'm not going to lie. That was surprising. Part of my whole spiel, this going into this offseason, was that there were no starters, that the board was wiped clean after that Rose Bowl, that everybody coming into camp in the spring, there's no starters at the clean whiteboard. So everybody has to earn their way onto that list. Now, this either means that this is one of two ways you can look at this, that they've known Jackson Lloyd was the guy all along. They've been preparing him last year and this year to be the starter. So why delay if you already know that that's the guy going in? Tell him now. Let him know you're the guy. Prepare accordingly, and let the guys battle it out for depth. Or does it mean that there's the left tackle spot is so thin and uninspiring that they're just naming a guy because they got a guy? Which I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
Bob, I love you, man, but let's be honest. Nothing DeBoer or Grubb does will ever satisfy you unless we win every game by 50 points. I don't want to hear be competitive in the losses. That's crap. You know it is too. If they lose 5 games next year, all of them by 3 points, you'll want him fired because he can't win close games. So if he doesn't win every game by 50 points, he's already a loser. So he can't do anything right with people like the Bob faction.
He's got some tough critics out there.
But
there's no doubt.
He can do no right according to Bob, no matter what.
I just thought it was, and I think everybody talked about, man, wow, that's a lot. Is it a NIL deal? Are they paying the guy too much and they got to go ahead and keep him happy? Or is it, as you mentioned, Jeff, it's so thin there, they just got to go ahead and they know he's the guy. If that's the case, you certainly hope he doesn't get hurt. But a lot of people have said that's the good news, that Alabama's got a lot of new faces in this offensive line room. I got to tend to agree because I was harping on it all last fall. There was nothing about Alabama's offensive line that impressed me. And to hear former SEC players go watch them practice in August and rant and rave about how good they looked, I'm thinking, what were they seeing?
That's one of the $1 million questions of the hype we heard going into last year, and then the product that was shown in week 1. They improved a little bit, never could get a running game going. But y'all listen to this. DeBoer is taking 100% of the blame for this lack of a running game. When was the last 1,000-yard rusher Alabama had? Was it Brian Robinson like 5 years ago, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
DeBoer's only been there for 2 years. So 2 years prior to DeBoer ever setting foot on campus, the running game was slipping. Okay, our best running back was Jace McClellan. He had like 600 yards rushing. That was our best running back one year. Jalen Milroe was the best running back one year.
Yeah.
Okay, so this running game's fall off started 2 years before DeBoer ever set foot in Tuscaloosa. But that doesn't matter. It's all his fault. It's Grubb's fault. It's DeBoer's fault. It's everybody's fault. 30 players left when DeBoer got there. Doesn't matter. Nobody cares about that. Like, let's be honest now.
And we said this before with Jalen Milroe. He masks a lot of deficiencies on that offense.
He did.
We didn't really pay attention to the lack of a big running game because he was it.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that was making all the spectacular runs. So, yeah, I think it's a great point, Jeff, a valid point that it didn't all start when DeBoer got there. I mean, this was kind of in place in Saban's last year or two, and DeBoer inherited it. And even however you lay it out there, though, I think we'll all agree year 3 is big for Kalen DeBoer. I mean, no more excuses. You got to have some type of a running game. Mm-hmm. There again, you don't want to lose, but you don't want to get blown out. And I think Alabama fans, probably their biggest gripe is the embarrassing losses. That they haven't experienced that in a long time, and they got multiple embarrassing losses last year. In the year
prior. All right. So Jeff, the biggest gripe, as we know from John, is attire. Does he scrap the black hoodie of death and come out in something different, or does it remain? I mean, these are the hard questions you're asking the offseason, and this is the kind of thing John contemplates. He sits there and thinks about things like this for like 30 minutes, and then he's down a rabbit hole. What would be a proper attire for Kalen DeBoer? You know, he got on to him for the tight shirt, you know, when things didn't go well early. Yeah. And, you know, then he was on the black hoodie of death till it didn't. So, I mean, where are we in this? And, you know, like the shirt shop, can they get him a nice button down or something like that? Or he could go to the DeBose. Yeah. What about the DeBose short sleeve?
No.
Button down.
No, he should go with shorts and a tank top just to do opposite of DuBose. That's what he should do. Like Office Space. He should go in there with flip-flops, a tank.
You know, I'm a little over the black hoodie. A nice, good-looking, golf shirt with the scripted A on it or something. You mentioned it. There's stores up there selling thousands of those things throughout the season. Grab him one as well. I'm kind of over the hoodie too.
The hoodie's gone.
Look, when you're losing and you're losing in the fashion in which they lost some of the games last year, things like that become a lot more noticeable. Remember Bill Curry in the Cliff Eagle sweater gets beat by Memphis State. And I'm thinking, what is this clown doing?
They'll find anything.
It's the Cliff Eagle sweater that got him.
They'll find anything. They'll say if Kalen DeBoer eats an oatmeal cream pie, it'll be he didn't eat it as many as Saban did. If he goes and shoots 70 at the links, well, Saban shot a 68.
Yeah.
So the guy can't win for anything.
As a matter of fact, Gurn, one of our mutual friends ran into Nick Saban yesterday before he was teeing up to go play golf down in South Florida. Had a little chit-chat with him and let us all know about it. But I don't know what Saban shot. He didn't tell us that. Jeff, the other big question. We asked Rodney Orr about this on Thursday. I'm sure you were listening. I'd like to know your thoughts. When they run out of the tunnel for the first time for the 2026 season, who will take the first snap at quarterback?
I think Austin Mack will take the first snap. This is just after 4 practices now. So we still have a spring ball, A-Day, all the off-season, fall camp, and all that. But I think Austin Mack will probably take the first snap. That doesn't mean anything. I think Keelan Russell will take probably equal amount of snaps in that first game, maybe in the first couple of games, while they're kind of sorting this out against live competition. Because neither guy has played really at all. So regardless of who starts, it's going to be all new. See, the team, the 26 team this year is going to be very young and inexperienced, very talented, but very young, not a lot of live snaps. So really 27 is the squad that should line up for the run. But 26 will be building that foundation because they'll be so young, a lot of new starters, but there'll be a lot better players, better coaching, I think. We're going to see some bumps in 26 just based off youth and inexperience. Guys, you can't just walk into the SEC and win the Heisman having never taken a live snap.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work that way. Sorry, Bob. They're going to have some struggles this year. We might actually have to punt once. I know Saban never punted in 17 years or never had a bad play, but we're going to have some bumps this year.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of the game now. It's a different college football than Nick Saban was reigning over. So
Jeff,
I think it'll be Austin Mack, but I think Keelan Russell will get at least 50% of the snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, have you considered changing your name and number for next year?
I was going to add a hyphenation. Hey, if RCW wants to change his name and a number, that's fine and dandy. He just got to stop catching balls with his neck.
Yeah.
If he start catching footballs, he can change whatever he wants. But as long as you're bouncing balls off your Adam's apple, I'm not sure the name and number change will help. But
I don't know if you know this, but next year he should have been a sophomore.
Yes. We keep forgetting that he's
sophomore
only age of a sophomore.
Next year he should have been a sophomore in college.
True. 100%.
Wait a minute. I was 22 and a sophomore in college. What are you talking about?
Well, that's because you had a victory lap.
Yeah. He took a long, slow victory lap.
Yeah. What's the hurry?
The good news about Longshore in college is that he could buy beer for everybody because he was actually legal.
He was Drew O'Banion.
Yeah. Heck, I was legal at Jeff Davis. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Hey,
of course, the drinking age.
Drew O'Banion right there. He drive around with a paddle whipping freshmen.
Yeah, man, I was like the most popular guy in town. How about our man Chad? Says, got to give DeBoer credit. Even as an Alb, his gear looked better than Freeze's Walmart AU gear. Sad to say.
Shout out Chad. That's a good buddy of mine.
Not Walmart, because Kmart is at they're on the way out. So
They said the Kmart red matched with Hugh Freeze's red cheeks and face, so they went with that shade. Well, let's be honest.
Why are you going to hate on Hugh Freeze? Why do you hate on? He's already.
You know what? He was my guy. I said, Auburn, you got to hire Hugh Freeze, and it just I was wrong. Didn't work out.
So, Gurn, what will determine what DeBoer wears this year is what Nike sends to Alabama and says, this is what your coaching staff's wearing this year.
Yeah, exactly.
You want that check, they'll be wearing this gear. I don't care what it looks like.
I don't think he's got much choice.
If Nike or Under Armour cut us a check, John be wearing a damn tank top every day.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it could be orange and blue. I'd wear it if the price was right. You kidding me?
Bingo.
Been saying forever. I would dress up as Albie if they pay me enough. All right, running game. Do you expect a true freshman to really be that dominant go-to running back that Alabama has missed over the last couple of seasons?
I would say no, except the running back room was just awful last year. I mean, it can't get any worse. So really, anybody can walk in and become the main ball carrier. I think Daniel Hill losing about 15 pounds is going to help him with his lateral quickness, with his quick feet. That's not going to help his decision making. Whereas he sees a hole and attacks it, or bounces outside like Jam used to do for no gain. I think the fact Daniel Hill's lost a little bit of weight. I think that A.K. Deere is going to be a factor. Kevin Riley is going to be a factor. And E.J. Crowell, the freshman that everybody's excited about, again, he's not going to walk in and go Derrick Henry day one. Okay, we've got to understand that. It's part of a scheme and a philosophy with these guys. There's several different kinds. But, hey, the good news is the running game can't be much worse than it was last year. So whatever you do, you're going to be better. So if you run out these three guys and they average 4 yards a carry, that's a yard and a half better than anybody last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the job's wide open. You're going to see a multiple running backs get carries, especially in the first 3-4 weeks of the season. But I think Daniel Hill is going to be the starter, quote unquote, kind of like Austin Mack. But you're going to see a lot of players in that running back role, especially in the first 3 weeks.
Do we know format for the spring game? Are we going to have a true spring game? Have they said?
I think it's true. I think it's full on scrimmage style.
The board hinted that was where they were going because he likes that type to wrap.
Yes.
He only got so many practices, and he had mentioned something to the effect that, hey, we want to get these guys out there and see what they can do. So it does look like that's what they're going to do. I'm
going to make a prediction that they're going to let these guys air it out. I mean, they're to let them feel good about themselves and keep everybody happy. They're going to it's just going to be all the way out.
I totally agree.
And they want the fans will want to feel something good to get some of the heat off of them.
Well, these guys need to hit people. These guys don't have a lot of reps, so they need to get out there and live reps, live speed, game speed. Have to make decisions quickly. Now the quarterbacks are going to have black unis on. Obviously, they're not going to get lit up by any means, but they need to hit. They need to have live hitting and live pads popping. Helmets crunching. Man, they need this. These guys need this, as they don't have a lot of live reps, so they need to crunch pads as many times as they can to get acclimated to the speed that they're going to face.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what spring's for. You got to get those things done. All right, Jeff, before we let you go, I guess the most important matter at hand is Friday. Alabama begins NCAA tournament play. What are your thoughts about the Tide as they go up against Hofstra?
So I'm the SEC tournament to me is useless unless you're playing for seeding, or if you only way you're in the tournament is if you win the conference tournament. I've always said that if you win the regular season, you should just be able to skip the conference tournament. You shouldn't even have to play it unless you just want to. So I think, granted, it was a terrible loss to Ole Miss. Ole Miss has 19 losses. We slaughtered them in the regular season. We never led for 1 second in that game in the tournament, which is fine. That year we went to the Final Four. We lost in the first conference tournament game. The best team Alabama's ever had was the Brandon Miller team that ran through the conference, ran through the tournament, and then ran out of gas in the Sweet 16. So I've been a little sour on the conference tournament. Like, scrap it. It's useless. Get the rest. Get prepared. Get healthy for the big tournament coming up. This is a good draw for Alabama. I'm not saying they're guaranteed to win 2 games. You just never know with this team. This team will come out and get down to Hofstra by 15 in the first half. You just never know. Yeah. Some games, Phylon doesn't decide that he's the best player on the court until the second half. And it's like, come on, man, you're the best player on the court. Like, show it. Don't wait till we're down 12 before you start, penetrating and driving and dishing and all that stuff. But if we get another scoreless game from Reitzel, we're not going to make it past Hofstra. I mean, this team can either make it to the Final Four or not beat Hofstra. There's such there's a gap between the floor and the ceiling. If Sherrill is all the only big man minutes we get, we're not going far, because God love him, but he runs out of gas. And I've never seen a big man denied at the rim more than Aiden Sherrill. He gets more dunks blocked and more shots at the rim blocked or turned away than anybody I've ever seen.
I do wonder about his stamina, because he's on the floor a long time.
And it's, God bless him.
Why do you think he's on the floor for a long time?
Yeah, because Charles Bediaco's ineligible.
No, have you seen our backup?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Noah Williamson is not exactly the 7-foot paint monster that you'd think a 7-foot guy is. This guy was the conference player of the year last year. Yeah. He can't hit a basket. I don't get it. But he gave us some solid minutes recently, just coming in 7-8 minutes, getting a couple rebounds, even 5 extra fouls.
Clog up the middle. I hear you.
Something.
But no,
we don't have any production offensively from any big other than Sherrill.
You knew we were going to lose the game you knew we were going to lose the game on Friday when we ran a play for Noah Williamson to shoot a 3 from the corner. That was just,
even the commentators talked about it. Goes, you don't see him shooting many threes.
I saw more shots, didn't even draw a rim in that game Friday. Amari Allen shoots one from the corner, hits off the side of the backboard, winds up at midcourt. Bull Bowen comes around the screen, shoots a dead-on 3 straight away. Dude hit next to the white square. Like, how does that happen?
You're playing in a big arena. They weren't used to it. Their sight lines were bad.
Man, they did not play well Friday. And shout out to Ole Miss. They hit every shot they tried. They were playing well. There was only shot. So these are the kind of games that Nate loses, a few times here and there. It is what it is. We got a week to get it right and decide how far we want to play in this tournament.
I'm with you. Hey, Jeff, before we let you go, man, greatly appreciate your time today. Let our viewers and listeners know how they can catch you guys and what you are doing.
So check us out. You can find us on YouTube at Way Offsides, any social media at Way Offsides 4As. You can find us there, TikTok, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. You know the spiel, John. Wherever you get your podcast, you can find us there. We push out content there, wherever you like to check us out. please do. I'm gonna get John on the show one of these times. I've been in his ear a little bit recently trying to get him on the show, but 8:00 on a Thursday night.
Yeah,
my man Longshanks is calling it a night around
if you can have cocktails while you're on the air, I'm in. Yeah,
it has been done before, my friend.
You're 80 to 90% viewers inebriated. I think it would go up. I'm not saying anything.
I'm definitely getting John on for a post-game show.
I'll bring some of that Dynasty wine we were talking about last.
Bingo! See there, marketing.
How about this, John? You can do a post NIT game Tuesday night with John from his car at about 11:10.
Yeah,
I've got a lot of Auburn friends, and I love my Auburn friends. But shout out to Auburn Twitter yesterday. That was the greatest afternoon of social media I have experienced in a long time. They
weren't happy.
It was fantastic. Pardon me, excuse me. I've been getting a little cold.
Yeah,
here.
it was.
It was fantastic.
It was entertaining. I'm with
Very.
you. And heck, it wasn't even on Tider Insider. I mean, it was good too.
It was Auburn Twitter. It was there for everybody. You didn't have to pay to see it. You could just get on Twitter and start scrolling, and it was hysterical.
Yeah, usually Tider Insider's got it going. They did too, but not as good as that.
Yes, Ty, I am an unhinged man. You got
it.
And I'm not Jeffrey Billingsley.
Yeah, no, there's only one of him. Hey, Jeff, thank you so much, my friend. Greatly appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on. We'll do it again soon.
See you all in the morning.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, quick timeout coming your way. When we return, the Phantom's Daily Dog. We'll get into that, and then we'll talk some more hoops as we get things going here in hour number 2. Longshore McKnight on this Monday rolls on after this quick timeout. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry is Central Alabama's best-known jewelry store. Their location at 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree is conveniently located adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they have every jewelry item imaginable because they make it. They really make it. From rings, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and much, much more. Marguerite's can also repair, clean, and rework any jewelry item that you want to bring back to life. Whether you're on a budget or have no budget at all, Marguerite's has all types of jewelry for everyone. Go by and see them today or call 270-0074. Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. Okay, back at it here, about 27 minutes past the hour on this Monday. Longshore McKnight, Gurn Sr. is pitch hitting today. Barry traveling today. We'll get back with Barry tomorrow. Of course, Troy taking on Nebraska in the NCAA tournament, a Thursday morning game. Barry might be tied up for that one as well. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, this time of the show, we have to recap the Phantom's Daily Dog. Whether it was positive or negative, we got to recap it. It wasn't good. We talked about, well, it's actually a Nebraska team that Troy is going to face later this week. We had the Cornhuskers in the Big Ten championship game going up against Purdue. They were catching 3.5. 13.5 wouldn't have been enough. As Purdue beats Nebraska 74-58. Gurn, did I hear you say something about the Cornhuskers have been leaking oil lately?
Yeah, I started 20-0 and they've gone 6-6 ever since.
Oh,
so
not good. So took it on the chin there, but they are in the NCAA tournament, taking on Troy Thursday morning. More on that later on. Today, not a lot. Well, there are no college games today. But, of course, the NBA has a full slate of games that are being played tonight. Not every team, but a pretty good slate of games going on for a Monday night. Peacock has several games on tonight. You can watch it on the NBC Sports Network and on Peacock. I wasn't familiar with the NBC Sports Network, but I guess there is something like that because they got 3 games tonight. We're going to take just one of them, and it happens to be the last game scheduled in the NBA tonight, where the San Antonio Spurs are heading to Los Angeles to take on the Clippers, not the Lakers. Now, let's face it, San Antonio's pretty good. They currently are ranked 2nd in the Western Conference behind Oklahoma City, 3.5 games out of first place. OKC is leading the Western Conference, but San Antonio right behind them. They won their last game. They're 8-2 in their last 10. The Clippers are one of these teams that are scratching and clawing for better playoff seeding. They are in the top 10 of the Western Conference. That seems to be a big deal if you're in the top 10 when it comes to postseason. They're at 34-33, 1 game over 500. They've won 7 of their last 10. So they're playing pretty well. Probably not as good night in and night out as the San Antonio Spurs, but a golden opportunity to get a little momentum at home in front of the home crowd tonight for that 9 o'clock tip. And they're catching 9.5 points against this San Antonio Spur team. Okay, we'll take it. We will take the home team catching 9.5. They might not win the game. Okay, big deal. But covering 9.5 at home against a traveling San Antonio Spur team, we're going to take it. I'm going to take it. I don't know if you want to comment on the NBA or what.
Yeah, I do. I do, because I don't know how often you watch the Spurs.
Okay.
But they have I'm going to go on record now. It's March 16th, 2026. They have a top 5 all-time player, transformative. 10 years from now, people are going to be looking back and calling him things like Jordan or LeBron type. Victor Wembanyama is just amazing. That's the only thing I can say. To be as
well, also something else you're going to be able to say is he's a Los Angeles Laker too, because all the good players end up on the Lakers.
He'll probably be a Laker or Knick because that's where the money is.
Yep.
But I will tell you, that dude is a freak. And it's not just that he's big. Mark Eaton was big. He was a big 7'4". This guy's 7'4" and can put it on the floor, can shoot a 3. I mean, you can't block his shot. I mean, he's unstoppable. And he's gotten more physical every year he's played, and he's doing everything he can to build up but yet not lose his dexterity. It's just amazing. I mean, that's the only thing. And nobody really, they have not really gotten out into the eye yet. And I think this year, these playoffs are going to be when he is kind of coming out party. So that's my Nostradamus predictions for the future.
Well, I'm just, there again, I just think the Clippers can cover. San Antonio can win the game. It doesn't matter to me if they win or not. Just don't win by more than 9.5. That's all we're asking. Not asking too much. We're going to go with that. Still a little bummed about Nebraska. I felt pretty good about that one. That one kind of surprised me a little bit. Maybe Troy's catching Nebraska at a good time.
So I don't understand betting terms because I'm not a real bettor. But when I see people say that they're fading your predictions, what does that mean? Does that mean
if they're fading my predictions, they've been losing a lot lately because the fandom has been on a roll, particularly in the NBA. Just saying.
Well, just like my brother has never lost in Biloxi, because every time I talk to him, he's won.
Yep.
So,
Well,
right.
It's interesting that you bring that up. So I've got some youngsters that are on a little spring break trip at the moment out of the country.
So they have access. They have access to the BetMGM and others.
No, they actually have access to the casino because where they are, 18 is the age. So we had
there to show them. You're not show them how to split eights.
Well,
or not split eights.
I did that before they left. We had a session, a learning session on the dining room table. I was the dealer, and really no money was changed, but I would deal out different situations that I expected them to encounter as an 18-year-old walking into a casino for the first time. And so I dealt 2 8s to one of them, and then I would deal, a 7 and a 4, or an 8 and a 3, or 2 2s or 2 4s, and when to split those and when to double down here. And anyway, they picked up on it relatively easy. What really threw them for a loop was when I threw that ace 7 down against a 6, and they went, "I'll stick." Whoa, I'm thinking, whoa. What do you mean you'll stick? Perfect double down opportunity here. Go ahead and double down on that A7. Heck yeah. Because that
did you give them the 2 greatest suggestions of all time? A, never touch your cards. The dealer will go ballistic if you touch your cards.
I did tell them that, correct.
On a traditional blackjack game where there's multiple hands. And if you're at third base and you've got and the dealer showing a 6.
Oh,
and you've got 14. You do not take the dealer's bus
card. That's right.
Because the whole table will turn on you.
Yeah, they will. They sure will. It's a lot of pressure playing third base. You better play
Never
right.
sit in third base anyway. Never sit in third base anyway.
Yeah,
that's
terrible. Also told them when you double down, ask for the card down, never up. You got to have it down.
I like that.
So anyway.
Hey, hold on, John. John, you remember the greatest of all time, though, is when you're losing money and you got 17 and they've got a face card. And you take a card with 17. And some people who are just drunk will do this just so the dealer will say what? Do you know? The dealer has to say, "I'm hitting a hard 17."
Yeah, that's right.
Because they says it to the guy upstairs who's watching it, because that's just no bueno. Usually.
Yeah, no bueno. Well, I did get some texts back. "Oh, Dad, we're killing it, man. We're rolling in this casino." I said, "Oh, Lord, that's the worst thing you can hear." I said, "Fellas, tap the brakes. Don't get all giddy. If you've won some money, then take your winnings and run, because the longer you stay in there, they're going to get it back and some more." Have not heard any more updates from the casino action. Maybe they're doing other things besides spending a lot of time there. I mean, there is a beach they can check out as well, which I hope they're doing. But hopefully my little, Crash Blackjack 101 course, is paying off for them, and they'll come home with a little.
What a great father you are. What a great father, and John.
Yeah.
And
that's right. What do we got?
Fallacy.
Yeah, I can't read it. The print's too small, but yeah. All
right.
I don't want them to think it's too easy. I'll put it that way. I'm hoping that they have some tough turns just to learn.
All right, John. I'm taking some creative license here.
Okay.
And unless you have something else you have to get in, we're going to play a little game called Stump the Host.
All right, Stump the Host.
All right. So with the NCAA basketball, you get a lot of these rando schools.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to play a little Stump the Host about these schools. Okay. You ready?
All right.
All right. We're gonna do mascots and possibly locations.
Ooh.
All right. Here we go.
This could be tough.
Santa Clara. Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
Hold on. Let me say this. Anybody on the chat line, play along. This is interactive. So Santa Clara.
Why?
They're the Broncos.
Why am I saying anteaters?
They're the Broncos. No, that's UC Irvine.
Okay.
All right.
I knew it was somewhere out there.
This is one
you're not going to ask me where. You're not going to ask me where UC Santa Clara is located.
Well, we're getting there.
Okay.
Akron.
The Zips.
There you go. I knew you'd get that one.
Yeah.
Right state. Right state. You don't know right state.
Right state.
Where is right state?
Is that?
It's in Michigan. It's in Michigan, and they are the Raiders.
I mean, how many schools are in Michigan? Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan.
All right.
Gee whiz. All right.
Hofstra. You never get it. You'll never get it. It's a
when I saw Alabama was playing Hofstra yesterday, I'm thinking, where in the world is that?
All right. The Hofstra is the Pride. All right.
That's their mascot?
That's their mascot. Utah State.
Wait a minute. Is it just Pride or is it something Pride?
Nope. That's the Pride.
Oh, just Pride.
Utah State.
Okay.
Utah State.
They are the Aggies.
Yes. I know you knew that. All right. Here's a location.
Is Utah State located in Pro? No, that's BYU.
What city? I can't remember.
Utah's in Salt Lake City, I believe.
No, it's in Provo, I thought, isn't it?
I thought that was BYU.
Maybe BYU's in Provo. Yeah, no, yeah. Utah is the Utes are in Salt Lake, I think. All right. So where is Queens College?
I'm going to say New York.
Charlotte.
The Queen City.
What's their mascot? Thus their name of their school.
The Monarchs.
The Royals.
The Royals.
Close.
It's close.
All right. I'm not going to ask you where Cal Baptist is because I don't know where Cal Baptist is. But what Cal Baptist, I'm not even going to ask you if you know what they are because you don't know who they are. No. They're the Lancers. I always like a good Lancer. I think that's isn't that some sort of horseman or something like that?
Like if you have a boil, don't they lance it off of you?
They do lance a boil. Yes, they do lance a boil.
Who would?
All right, here's a trivia question. You may not know. Where is High Point? Where's High Point College?
North Carolina.
Oh, there's a Lancer.
Oh, okay. There is a Lancer. Who
That's
makes
right.
the Lancer?
It's Stivers Ford Lancer.
Oh, Mitsubishi makes
Where's High Point?
North Carolina. North Carolina.
Okay. And they're the Panthers. All right, here's one you maybe should have.
Isn't High Point where they make all the furniture?
It is where they make all the furniture. North Dakota State.
That's where the mustache is from. State. The guy that played in Alabama. Golly, what cities are in North Dakota?
It's not the Jackrabbit. I'm not saying where it is. They're the Bison.
Yeah. Bison, sure. Yeah. Because there's a lot of buffalo in that area.
St. Mary's.
That's in the Northeast. Massachusetts.
St. Mary's.
Is it Massachusetts?
Nope. Nope.
Ooh.
Nope.
Ooh.
Nope. It's in California.
Oh, wow, really?
They're the Gales.
The Gales,
yep.
Yes.
All right.
Where was that school? And what's the school in California
Kennesaw?
that Alabama played when Wimp was at Alabama? They played them in the tournament, and they were real fast.
That's Loyola Marymount.
Loyola, yeah. I passed
Loyola Marymount before.
Yeah.
Hank Gathers.
That's right.
Bo Kimball, and Hank Gathers.
You know, Bama could have won that
State.
game if they'd have played their style.
Well, that's only been 25 years ago.
Yeah, I know it. I'm still a little bitter about that.
Kennesaw State.
Georgia.
They're the Owls.
They're in Georgia.
They're out. They're the Owls. Yeah,
Owls.
they're the Owls. All right. The last one, I think
similar to the Rice Owls.
Correct. All right. The last one, I think you know, and I'm going to be disappointed if you don't. Idaho.
The Vandals.
Idaho. The Vandals. I knew you knew the Vandals.
Yes,
that's
the Vandals.
They
played Auburn in football.
I would say you passed the test.
Yep, they played Auburn in football
a couple of times. 25%. Yeah, I had you pegged at 25%, and I think you might have been like 27%.
I think so.
Not bad.
I think so too. I'm a pretty, and there again with the NCAA tournament, they got some teams in there, folks, that you might not recognize, and there's some of these teams are going to surprise some people. They're going to upset some of these better known schools. So that's why when you start filling out your bracket, you've got to consider that. Speaking of brackets, Gurn, this Wednesday, on the program Wednesday, before the
very excited
before the start of the NCAA tournament. I don't give me this. Oh, it starts tomorrow. No, it doesn't. It starts Thursday. But Wednesday, before the tournament starts, my daughter Lucy will be on the program to kick off the hour number 2 to reveal some of her hot choices in her bracket. She finished number 7 in ESPN's bracket challenge last year out of like 20 million people. It's unbelievable. Finished in the top 10 at number 7. Didn't win anything, which I thought was kind of crappy. I mean, you finish in the top 10 out of that many people.
She won the hearts and minds of the people.
Okay, I'll agree with you there. She did. The winner, I think, got tickets to this year's Final Four and the whole deal, which I thought was, show the love.
That's amazing. That is truly, you can't even make that up. I mean, that's truly amazing.
I'm still, and then some of the, I think her last loss was like in the Sweet 16. She didn't have a loss after the Sweet 16, but ended up finishing 7th. So she will be on the program Wednesday. I don't know if she's going to reveal her entire bracket because obviously, she don't want to give out too many secrets, but she's going to give us some high points and some teams to be looking for because obviously she had some teams last year that went a lot further than most people believe they would. So we'll talk about that on Wednesday's program. She's in the bunker doing some serious figuring. Don't want to disturb her until Wednesday.
Analytics.
Yes. Analytics, a big part of filling out your bracket. We want you, of course, to give us your Final Four. That's what we're looking for here this year in the Longshore McKnight NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament 4-Carat Challenge. 4 for 4 in the Final Four. Give us your 4 teams that make the Final Four. Also give us the total number of points scored in the championship game. You could be the big winner of a 4-carat diamond from Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. That's right. Valued at well over $4,000. Now, Lyle tells me it's closer to 5, but we're trying to keep the theme of the 4s. Get it 4 for 4 in the Final Four, 4-carat diamond, well over $4,000. Give us your 4 teams that make the Final Four, total number of points in the championship game. Email it to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. In the subject line, put 4 for 4, Final Four, whatever, so we know what it's about. Get it into us by Thursday at 11 a.m. This Thursday, March the 19th. That's when the cutoff is. You could be the big winner. It's brought to you by our good friends at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, Phoenix Physical Therapy, Bama Budweiser, and the Montgomery Regional Airport. Get in on it. Already getting a lot of entries in our email inbox. Make sure you get yours in as well. longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com.
It's Ram Truck Month at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. New Rams 20 grand off or 0% for 6 years and heavy duties 12 grand off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The Declaration of Deal sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokees, Grand Cherokee L's, and Gladiators up to 15 grand off, and Wranglers 13 grand off. Only at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us. Just checking out the River Region Straw chat line. Dennis Mitchell has hopped on as well. He thinks Troy's got a great shot against Nebraska. That Casey Alexander's the new coach at Kansas State, coming from Belmont. I mean, Dennis, wow, that's some great info, my man. Good stuff there. Dennis, a huge Troy fan, thinking the Trojans got upset over Nebraska. I hear you. Nebraska disappointed me big time Friday night, Dennis. I hear you. Let's see what else we got that I found interesting. A lot of interesting stuff on the chat line today. We greatly appreciate it. You can always get in on our River Region Straw chat line. A lot of good conversation there as always. All right, Gurn Jr. has got the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel locked and loaded. We have 6 topics today. We do not know what these are.
Don't know. We have no clue.
None.
Stifled them.
Stifled them. Huh. Could this be about? Oh, man.
All right. So here's the deal. I heard some commentators driving in this morning. We screwed the Dominican Republic. That's all I can say. The calls were awful at the end. I mean, balls that were called strikes. It was almost embarrassing, and it was crazy. But guess what? We're in the finals.
We're in the finals.
Yep.
After losing to Italy, we still scratched and claw our way back to the finals.
We got lucky. Let's put it that way. So it is what it is. But hey, W's a W if you got to cheat. Sometimes you got to cheat to win.
I guess so. Man. So the U.S. makes the finals. Glad to see that. All right. Sorry for the Dominican Republic. All right. We got 5 more left. Some more spinning to go here. A lot of multiple colors left on the wheel.
The purple one's buttocks. I'm looking forward to that one. Center in history. Center in history. Is that center the tennis player or just somebody who's a center?
I don't know.
Yep.
Looks like, yep.
All right. So he won all the major non-majors. And so, look, this guy, he's a hell of a player. He's damn good. He's a ginger, which, goes a long way for the gingers of the world. He had a little bit of controversy because he had a little, little issues with performance enhancing issues.
Okay.
And, it is what it is. I like him. Yannick Sinner's a good guy, except for the Peds. But, he's likable. I mean,
he's the hard court champion, it says there. Plays a lot of hard court tennis.
He does. He does. And he's got game. I mean,
I did not know they played professional tennis in Cincinnati.
That's a big tournament. So here's the deal. There are several tournaments around the country that get you prepped for other tournaments.
Okay.
So Charleston is a big prep for the French Open. Miami's a big prep tournament. Okay. You've got Indian Wells is a huge tournament. Cincinnati used to be Memphis. Memphis had a big tournament, but Cincinnati is a huge tournament. They've got a big stadium that they play and just has always been. So there you go.
Awesome. Love
Amazing
it.
What you learn. Amazing what you can learn on Longshore McKnight. Hard court tennis.
I have actually driven by the facility at Indian Wells multiple times, but never been in it. But
Well,
I've driven by it.
Look, I'm not one to brag, but Mrs. Gurn and I played in the Nationals of pickleball at Indian Wells. So it's a beautiful facility. The back setting is the mountains. I mean, it's a beautiful place.
It is.
Road
gorgeous.
runners running around everywhere.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, 4 more to go. Let's see what we got. Let's see what's happening here. Let's do it. Spinning away, 4 more to go. It's going to land on sorry, Canada.
I think that may be the World Baseball as well. Sorry, Canada.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they lost.
Canadians.
Oh, no.
Hockey.
We won the Paralympics as well. That's
good
fantastic.
job. It is fantastic.
So
awesome.
We also won, and I did not get the details on it. Supposedly, in a very exciting fashion, we also won the Paralympic curling as well.
Okay.
So
hey, take all we can get. Love it. Way to go. U.S. Paralympic hockey. That is awesome.
USA.
Better believe it. All right. What else we got? 3 more to go here on the Gurn Junior Victoryland 777 topic. We'll exit 22 off I-85 shorter.
I'm ready for buttocks. But
in yellow. Feeling young. Feeling young. Okay.
Oh, Cameron Young.
Yeah. How about this finish yesterday? How about the tee shot?
Yeah.
I mean, on 18, like 375 or something, unbelievable. And that shot on 17 is pretty nice too, as it nestles toward the hole.
Have you played? You ever played TPC?
I have. I've played it twice.
I have never played TPC. I've never been on the grounds. That's a tournament I've always wanted to go to. Gurn Junior's been and says it's a great tournament. So
there was a player yesterday before I left. I actually played a little golf yesterday myself on 17. His ball rolled off the fringe and got caught up on the wooden railing that's around 17. The ball was right up against the sod. Yeah. And they're looking for a ruling. He actually, because you're thinking if he hits it, it's going to hit that sod, bounce back into the water. Hits it too thin, it's going to roll off the green. But he was able to get the club underneath it, off the wood, pop it up on the green. Pretty good shot in a tense moment. Got his feet, he's kind of got his stance is all awkward because he's standing on the wooden plank there. It was a shot you don't see every day, but it was executed well. But that was a great finish. And boy, his tee shot on the last hole there, when it is clutch, like I said, hits it like 375. They're talking about it was the longest tee ball in a PGA competition. I'm thinking, on that hole, woo, with all that water going down the left side, nerves of steel.
So I was able to end my golf day very well yesterday. Played a quick 18 with Mrs. Gurn in the morning.
Nice.
And I hit a 30-foot bomb with the broomstick on the last hole for birdie.
30-foot bomb.
It was a bomb. Unexpected
Outstanding.
bomb.
Was that at the Greenville Country Club or at Cambrian Ridge?
GCC, par 5, number 9, up the hill.
Oh, I've not played it many a time. Did you loop it twice or just a quick 9-hole?
Yeah. No, we went out at 8:30 and we're finished by 10:50.
Yeah, I bet.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, pretty quick. I love it.
For 18 holes. When we have the green cart, which we call the rocket ship.
Sure.
It will haul ass.
Yeah, messing around. 2 more to go. Let's see what we got. 2 more to go.
Are we going to get buttocks last or buttocks next to last? That's
never
what I'm
know. It's looking like it's going to be last.
Buttocks is going to be the last. All right.
Tickling to Ivory.
Let's see.
A little
the Ivy League. Yeah, Penn beat Yale. Yale was the number 1 seed, and Yale has had a really good year.
Yeah.
Boom. And
doesn't Auburn know a little bit something about Yale?
They do know Yale.
Yeah.
And the Yale, and going back to Auburn, the guy that beat Auburn ended up at Michigan, and he's now in the league.
Oh,
he's a hell of a player.
Yeah.
But watch this. What a shot.
Man.
Look at that. Boom.
Pennies. Nothing but that.
It's not like one of those that rattled around.
Yeah.
You got, all right, John, Penn.
What city?
No, it's in Philadelphia. What's the mascot?
Quakers.
There you go.
Oh.
Very proud of you.
How
Very
about that
proud
one?
of you.
How about that one?
What about Yale?
Awesome.
What about Yale?
Yale is
it's an easy one.
They're
not the Tigers. They're the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs. The Yale Bulldogs. Yeah, it does ring a bell.
Princeton's the Tigers. All right, here we go.
All right, one
Last
more.
one. All right, let's
got to spin
here.
buttocks to make it official.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous we might lose our FCC license.
I think we're good.
Nudity.
I think we're good. Oh, it's an animal.
Oh, this guy is a. Oh, it's a monkey.
Monkey.
We're gonna show a monkey. I love it. Mandrill.
Okay.
All right. I love a good mandrill.
Man, no kidding.
The largest and most colorful monkey in the world. Oh. Look at that buttock.
I wonder why it's that color. The nose area is kind of the same color. Interesting.
Yeah, it is. But that's
now I've seen people have big bruises on their buttocks, but they're never that blue.
That is, I will say this. That's one ugly animal.
That is an ugly animal. I'm with you.
The mandrill, no doubt, could scare just about any animal out
I'm with you. That is not something I'd want to face in the jungle alone. I would not.
It takes Longshore McKnight to expand everybody's educational capabilities by having a mandrill on the wheel. You gotta love that.
Our research team has let us know our audience loves the animal segments.
I personally don't care. I don't care if the audience loves the animal segments. I love the animal segments.
Yeah, research shows that people gravitate towards stories about animals.
Yep, that's
we
right.
have found that out.
How about
All
that?
right, tomorrow, we're going to check in with Brian Matthews of AuburnSports.com, Travis Ryer talking Tide Ryer on YouTube. We'll talk about some spring sports and what's going on. Also, Barry will be back tomorrow, scheduled to be back tomorrow. So looking forward to his thoughts about Troy and Nebraska in the NCAA tournament. Want to thank Way Offside's Jeff for joining us today. And thank you, Gurn Sr., for hopping on and pitch hitting for Barry today. Always a lot of fun.
Well, I've got a face made for YouTube, right?
Yeah, man, I hear me too. All right, thanks to everybody out there. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you listening. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Check us out at Yellowhammer News as well. Hey, for Gurn Sr., we'll have a great day. We will talk to you tomorrow.